with another Winning Wednesday. It's been 2 weeks since I've been here with y'all, and I'm excited. We got a good topic. We got a guest, so I'm excited to share her with y'all. And we're gonna get started. So everybody go ahead and drop how y'all feeling in the chat. I'm gonna read over them real quick, and then I'm gonna let my guest on at 6:05 so we can get started. Hey Yo. Why I say you was last on here? Was you first or was you last? Hey Reality, hey Roman, hey Mayel, hey Raquel, hey Dawn, hey Naeem, hey Gemma. Raquel said she feeling good today. Yo, I had a good day today too. I got a lot of stuff done. I had to do this informational interview for homework and basically kind of getting more of a gist about like social work and what to expect and everything like that, which was cool. I had my classes, I had 4 classes today, but I did it and I'm done. And tomorrow I start my internship, so I'm first. All right, let me see who else did I miss. Hey London. Okay, Reality was first. All right, bet. Happy Winning Wednesday. You already know it's Winning Wednesday. Winning Wednesday really like one of the best days of the week. Like we got Focus Friday and all that, and Miss Joni cool, and Big Mel cool too. But Winning Wednesday is where it's at. Dawn said, I'm feeling tired today. I'm having a good day, but I'm tired too. Like last night I went to sleep after 2, but I woke up at 7:30, so something wasn't adding up. But we here still. We got 4 more weeks. I got 4 more weeks until school is over, so I'm ready for that to be done. And I'm ready to come back home. But I come back home again for the brunch, so. London. No, you didn't just say that. Holly at TV. Are you new? London said today was good. The fries at lunch were cooked for once. Oh my god. I thought you went to a county school. Or I'm tripping. Hey Antonio. Hey Asada. Hey Coach. Right now, is the day we win, period. Hey Sid. Yo, why Siri keep think I'm talking to her? Hey Jimmy. Yes, Dawn. Big Mel and Miss Joni is cool. They cool, but Winning Wednesday is where it's at. Coach, I had an assignment that I didn't realize that I had until the end of the night. And so I was like, do I just not do the assignment or do I go to sleep late and do the assignment? And I did the assignment, so it is what it is. I get some more sleep this weekend. Antonio said I had a half a day, but I died when I got in my bed afterwards. Them after school naps used to hit. Mars said I'm a little drained. Teachers been giving out work like crazy. Y'all just got to try to create a system of things that work for y'all. Everything don't work for everybody. And when it comes to like stuff being overwhelming, it's about like how we manage our time. I did the assignment, yo. It was due this morning. Oh, let me go to Bud. Oh yeah, that's still the city, but ain't this like a charter school though? Mayel said, tell me why I was outside for 3 hours after the half-day dismissal because the bus was like so long. I used to hate catching the 38 out front of Western. Yeah, London, I know what you're talking about because Connections and Angela Y. Davis is connected to Bud. Hey, Kayla. Dawn said A-Push is pushing it. I have a dynamic study guide due tomorrow and a DBQ due on Friday at 11:59. Them DBQs was DBQing. Like, real bad. When I used to take A-Push, I hated it. That was my worst AP class. But I got through it, and I mean, I failed the AP test, but I'm not saying, don't, try your best. But that A-Push exam was hard. Really said my mom is out of town, so I basically had to take over the house. Okay, it's giving mama reality. Hey, Mr. Sam. Oh, connection shorter. All right, okay. So it's basically giving everybody is out of it. But today, once y'all hit 7 o'clock, everything is gonna be back like better. Like tomorrow, you're gonna be ready, you're gonna be amped up. And I know today is gonna be like a really meaningful topic. So I'm gonna bring my special guest on because y'all know it's 6:05 and we don't have her for that long. So I wanna make sure we get everything that we can get. Let me see. There we go.
Hey,
Hey,
everybody.
how you feeling?
I feel good, stressed out.
Yo, it can be like that because you're in college too, right?
Yeah, I'm a senior.
Yeah.
I go to Coppin and I'm a nursing student. So, nonstop work, nonstop questionnaires, nonstop clinicals is just too much.
Yeah.
Hey.
Can you give us a little well you kinda gave us an introduction, but like some of the other things that you do or how you got connected with Hush Smiles?
So, I actually got connected to Heart Smiles through my community health professor. So we had to attend basically it was this program for Shepherd Pratt, and it was basically showcasing like different community activists and figures. And when I
Mhm.
seen Miss Joni's like her presentation, it struck me because I was like, when I was in high school, I wish I had somebody like that. Like I really didn't have anybody there as like a guidance. It was more so just me, and I was rebellious. Like high school, I was all over the place. I did not care about my grades. It was just whatever could get me passing. And like now I'm older, like I'm 23. So now being where I'm at, I go to Coppin. I'm more so like I could have maybe went to a higher institution, but I do love Coppin. Like Coppin is an excellent nursing program. Coppin really instills in you how to be a great nurse, how to think critically, how to act on the floor. Like I just feel like it prepared me to be better in life. And also, like with my community health class, I never knew that I wanted to do community work. Like I never had that thought until I got into that class because my professor, she makes us actually do group projects and talk to the community. Like I just spoke to the state delegate earlier. ACOP.
Yes.
So yeah, I spoke to a state delegate earlier to try to get them to come to our school and talk. And I also got her resiliency group, which is a group for ex-sex workers and prostitutes to come and speak to our school about prevalence of like HIV and AIDS among them. Like I'm just trying to bring more awareness to the Coppin Heights community and basically also the youth. Like we're youth. Like I'm 23, but I'm still youth. I ain't old yet.
Right.
I'm still trying to get a little older and I still make my mistakes, especially in college. Like college, you have your ups, you have your downs, you have your party times, but you gotta remember the goal and the mission, which is the finish.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm just excited.
Yeah, I'm super impressed to like come back for break. Like college, when you said it up and down, it be up and down every other day. Like every other day, like you like, do I take this L? Do I push through and
Mhm.
do the assignment? Do I connect with this person? Do I not? But yo, today we're gonna be talking about remembering your value. And it's important in college, just in life in general. Like remembering your value is so important. So y'all know I already got a list of questions that we gonna ask to guide our discussion today. And the first question is, what does remembering your value mean to you?
So remembering your value to me is basically knowing who you are in the moment, knowing what you bring to this society, to this world. It's also knowing that you don't have to deal with certain things, and also knowing what's meant for you is meant for you. You don't need anybody to try to doubt you or tell you can't do certain things because you definitely can. Like I just feel like value is so important. Like because especially as a nursing student, I feel like a lot of times you have to remember you know what you know and have confidence in knowing what you know. Because it will be questions that will trip you up and make you think, oh no, I don't know this or this isn't right. So knowing what you know and having confidence within yourself can help you build your value. And the value is what helps you to get jobs. That's what you put out there. Yes, realizing everyone ain't worth your time. You hit it on the nose. You will see that throughout life. Everybody is not worth your time.
No, for real. Naeem said, and I'm gonna answer after I read Naeem's. Now you said what remembering my value to me is not only how much you're worth, but acknowledging the fact that you are more than just your name or nickname. Yeah, just digging into things like deeper, like what things that you offer, what things you bring to the table. I kind of think about remembering your value as like your superpower. Because I think a lot of times we get caught in the trap of comparing ourselves or our journeys to other people's and feeling like we're set back or we're behind. But like the things that we're doing, they are meant to happen right now at the time that they're happening. Sometimes we can get really impatient. Like I want this to happen right now. Like I'm supposed to be at this place, but who's to say that that's where you're supposed to be? I feel like we're doing things exactly when we're supposed to do them and how we're supposed to do them. So trusting the process and trusting that what we bring to the table actually matters.
And it's funny that you spoke on like you should be here at this point, or why don't I have this? When I first started college and I seen all my friends, they had jobs, they had their own apartments, cars, all of that already. And I'm like, I'm still in school struggling. I don't have none of this stuff. Why don't have this yet? And then it really took me to sit down and think about like everybody has their own mission, their own goal, their own destiny. Like you said, what's for you is for you. You're gonna get all those things, but in God's timing, I feel like it's all about timing, and it's also about pacing yourself, because you might want that now, but you might not know how to maintain that job, maintain that car, maintain that house, those bills. So it's, I just feel like what's for you is for you.
Yeah, and like when you talked about, I'm gonna read the other comments after this, but when you talked about like sometimes we not ready, like
Mm-hmm.
in our heads, we really be like amping it up to make it seem like we ready for things, and like honestly, the time that we have to wait or come to that right moment is like prep time for you to be ready for that thing once it comes, or that blessing when it comes, or that car or that house or apartment. Like all of those things are coming in due time, but like wow, the time is like carrying itself out. You're prepping so you can be ready to receive that.
Mm-hmm.
Um Roman said, remembering my value means knowing that if no one notices, I'm amazing and incredible asset. Yes. London said, knowing what it is that's for me, and that I should stick out and what to let go, knowing what I deserve and I offer, but also how to leave things that don't benefit me or aren't what I deserve.
Mm-hmm.
London, that's that part is so good, especially with the knowing how to leave things. That's something that I'm working on now, because although some things may be good things, they aren't always good for you. So
Mm-hmm.
like it could be really great opportunities or like great internships or great people to connect with, but like you aren't the next person to you. So the things that is good for them, not good for you. And so you gotta kind of like weigh the things out, like trial and error with like different things, or how even like you take up space or people take up your time. So being very intentional.
And it's also about having discernment too with who is around you and who to let go. Because everybody is not here for years to come. Some people are here for seasons. Like,
Yeah.
especially, and I know we dealt with it in high school. You've dealt with it in college. Your mother even told you those people ain't your friends. Like, you really start to notice it as you get older, because the older you get, the more you elevate, the more you start to think, the more you have more to lose. Cause
Mm-hmm.
all of us, hopefully, we're going to college. We're going to graduate college. We're gonna have letters behind our names. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to learn to let go some people that aren't progressing. It's no love lost, but I just can't be around you because my progression and me being around you might lead to regression. So you have
Yeah.
to keep that in mind.
And sometimes we try to like extend those seasons though. Like I got caught in it a couple times with people. Like sometimes it's like you want to hold on to like a hope of things getting better. Like you might be in a situation where it might not be that good, but like you like, well, this person used to be that, or you trying to project onto them what you want them to be or how you want them to show up, or even with like things you take apart in like teams or things, we try to dress things up to make it seem like something we should be a part of. But like when the season is up, the season is up. So like, don't cling on to that, because that's when you start feeling uncomfortable, and that's when you start feeling pain. And that's why I posted, I think a couple weeks ago, on one of the jewels I posted in the morning, like, when the season's over, it's over, and don't hold on to it. And it might be a little bit painful too to let them things go.
Yeah, but that's all about like progressing, getting better at being yourself. Because once you figure out self, can't nobody tell you who you are, can't nobody tell you what to do it, when to do it, anything, because you know your worth, your value, and you know how to conduct yourself. And like letting people go, it is hard, but it's a part of life. I just feel like it's all a part of life, it's all a part of growing up.
Yeah. And I don't know, I think also too is like clinging on to, like, I don't know, for me, I found like recently I've been wanting to cling on to my more youthful side. Like, yeah, I know we growing up, but it's like these responsibilities is like, I didn't really ask for this. Like, I don't really want this. I want to be
Yeah,
like where you had this innocence about you, like this bubbliness about you, that you didn't have a care in the world, but now it's like you getting onto the adult side and responsibilities is coming. It's like, I want this. I don't want that. Like,
yeah. Cause
so.
that's how it feel like. Cause you be trying to cling on to that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go out this weekend. Oh, I'm gonna be down here this weekend. Cause I used to stay down the docks every weekend, like
Mhm.
Fifth, Dubai, like all of that every weekend. And then once I start hitting that college age, I'm like, well, I already done did this. This college party's cool, but I feel out of place. Like you start feeling that shift in yourself, and it makes you feel like I'm not fun no more. And then you be like, oh, my friend's not calling me no more to hang out. Oh, you always got something to do. You always busy. You always got homework. But
Mhm.
that's the stuff that's helping you to level up in the world and make yourself a better self. If people can't understand that, then you got to let them go.
Right.
Because if doing what's best for you and they feel like they're not seeing the goal or the mission that you had for yourself, then it's no point in them being around you. Because all that is negativity. It's negativity
Mhm.
into your life, and you don't need that. Yes, outgrowing people. Yes.
And the outgrowing people comes from like you not being in alignment with people no more. Like in the beginning of your journey with a person, it might have been something that y'all had like a common interest, or I don't know, it might have been dressed up like that. Because sometimes people also try to perceive like they're in a certain space in their life just so they can get closer in connection with you. But like that's not really who they are. So once you out of alignment with a person, you can tell. You can read it, like it's in the room. It's like a big elephant in the room, and like you literally just can't ignore it. Like, listen, see the things that you see. Like, don't ignore those things. But I know we getting caught up in the comments. Let me see. So Amaya said, remembering your value is like remembering what you're worth. Yes, and the price went up.
Mm-hmm.
Mayel said, remembering your value to me is like knowing your worth, having a good self esteem, and then under stressful measures. Also, would not belittling yourself with other people's stubbornness. Delia said, remembering your value is remember to know your worth and don't be like everyone, be yourself. And we wasn't put on earth to be like other people. Like if everybody was the same, life would be pretty boring.
Yes. And individuality is what makes you special. Like she said,
Hmm.
if it's a million people in white shirts, where the color at? Like, give me some color, some diversity. Like for real, like you need diversity in the world because everybody is different. Like if all our food was the same, bland, unseasoned, ain't nobody gonna want to eat that. Like that's just how I feel. Like you gotta have some flavor about yourself. Your flavor is what sells you. I swear. Like if you are who you are, like Miss Joni, when I seen her that day, she sold me because she was so authentic and
Hmm.
real. And some people was like, oh, they may not be professional. It was professional to me. You conveyed your message to me perfectly in the way it was supposed to be conveyed because it's your story. So like
Hmm.
that's how I feel. You have to be you.
Yeah, that's one of them things I always love about Miss Joni, and I admire so much because like in society, professionalism normally looks one way. Like
Mhm.
it's like suit button down, like hair a certain way, have it maintain, control, tame yourself, basically. But like
Mhm.
Miss Joni is like, no, like I'ma show up in a heart smile sweatsuit, and it's me being professional because I'm showing up as myself. And like I respect that because like you can be in a culture where you feel like accepted, like you don't have to cut corners about who you are and how you gonna show up or how you gonna talk. Like Miss Joni still say yo and all that when she talking to people. I mean, she might change it a little bit depending on the audience, but normally she keep it pretty authentic. So I appreciate that for her. Jimmy said everyone has their own time, never be in a rush. Your time is the best time. Remembering your value is like staying true to yourself. Raquel said, remembering your value for me is doing what I want and saying no to what I don't want to do and going out my way to make myself feel good. I'm still working on that, y'all. Like, I'm a work in progress, but I'm going to get it together.
Yeah, you gotta find time for yourself, especially you in school. You said social work, right?
Yeah, I'm doing psychology, but I want to go on the path of social work.
Okay, future psych. Okay, especially with psych, you're dealing with other people's issues. You want to take on a lot. You need to take out time for yourself and self care, or you're gonna crash. Like you're gonna crash.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it together. Jimmy got a question that I actually was gonna ask later, but I know we dwindling down on time because I know you got something to do and take care of. But Jimmy said, how do you show that you know your value without being arrogant?
So I feel like showing your value without, I feel like arrogance is a perception. It's about how somebody else perceives you. It doesn't matter how you present yourself. If that's their thought of you, that's just what it's going to be. So I feel like as long as you're you and you present yourself respectfully and the person that you're talking to is presenting yourself respectful back, I feel like value can be shown in that way, like if it makes sense. Like as long as everything is like a baseline, like it's no type of girl, like all of that, unless you know them, like then it's cool. But if you're like more so like on the other side of things, like more so professional and letting like your superiors know your value, it's a very like good way to set the tone. Like, yes, I understand that you feel this way, but these are my beliefs with this condition. This is what I feel like we should do with this person. Like it's more so about setting the tone of what you will do, what you won't do, what the expectations are for you and whatever realm you're in. And this is how I feel about myself. Like that's how I feel you kind of shut somebody down without coming off arrogant about it.
And like a lot of time, people that don't understand boundaries take them as disrespectful. So like if it's something that you're not willing to accept, that other people are willing to accept, depending on the type of person, if they perceive that as disrespect, maybe that's not the type of person that you need to be around. So
Yeah. And some people are closed minded. It's also generational too. It's a generational thing. I know y'all see it, especially with the parents, the faculty. A lot of people are old. Like they ain't been kids in years. It's like or young adults or teenagers. And we're a whole different generation. I feel like we're the generation of self-worth. We the type, oh yeah, I'll quit this job tomorrow. I'll get another one. Like I'm not for real. You like, I ain't doing that. But the old people used to be like, oh no, let me stay at this job for some years. It's gonna get better. No, as soon as you see something that offends you in your workplace or in anywhere in life, first address it. Address it first. And if you see no change, leave.
yeah.
Because like you said, you know your worth. Like you know who you are. You know what you bring to the table. So bring to the table and bring it to a table of somewhere that people that will treat you with respect and embrace and love your individuality and who you are.
Yes. Yo, she preaching. I wish we had her for the whole time. Let me see.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got an exam.
Right.
Unfortunately,
I know them exams they'll eat you up. So I'm gonna let you go at 6:30. But let me see what's a good question that we can end on before we do Jules. All right, so I'm gonna ask, how do you show up when you don't acknowledge your value, and how do you want to show up? So, like, sometimes it's unintentional, but we lose sight of our value when we in a certain environments or stuff like that. But like, how do you feel when you're in that headspace, and how do you want to feel as far as like acknowledging your value during those specific moments?
okay, so when I feel like I'm not in value, like I'm really one of them spiritual, astrological type of people, affirmations. So I will literally sit to myself and I be like, Chardonnay, you can do it. Like, come on now, girl, get yourself together. You tired, you crying, you almost done. You done made it this far. Years ago, you wish you was in this position. That's the key reminder. You wanted to be here. You were crying to be here. So now that you got it, God's giving you this, be able to accept it. God wouldn't give you nothing you can't handle. Like I humbly believe that. Like that will be a tattoo on my body one day. I gotta get it. But God won't give his strongest battles to his toughest soldiers. He's not going to give you anything that you cannot handle. So every time you doubt yourself, reconfirm and reaffirm to yourself that you are who you are. You're here because you're supposed to be here. You have to basically, to get through it, you have to remind yourself of where you were. Where you were will like make you feel so much better about where you're at. You got to think that's how you always got to keep it in your mind. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's hard to get up. It's hard to get up. It is. And every time, you're not gonna have somebody to rub your back. You're not gonna always have a crew of people to cheer you on. Sometimes it's just you. It's just you in them trenches. You the one going through it, especially in school. People that aren't in school will not understand your mental battles, whether it be high school, whether it be middle school, college, whatever. People will not understand what you're going through. You only understand it, and your peers understand it, like-minded peers. So I just feel like you have to, like you said, you have to have that in yourself, like have that dog in you. That's what I said. You gotta have that dog in you to get back up, to be like, you know what? Let me shake this off. I got this. Yeah, they thought they did something with that, but you know what? I got something better. Let me prove them wrong 10 times more. Because that's why I feel as Black people, especially as Black youth and Baltimore youth, the views people have, we just getting in a positive light. Like we're just, and it makes me so happy to see that our youth are making a positive change in light for Baltimore City as a whole. We have to fight hard to prove, hey, we have powerful individuals. We have leaders, young leaders here that can maybe be your next president, your next delegates, your next governors. Like, all that, yeah. Don't get me, I started preaching because I be feeling it. I be like, yes, like, because it
Girl,
took
you've
me a
been
long
preaching
time.
this whole time.
Because it took me a long time to get here. Like, bro, high school me compared to who I am now, girl, day and night. Day and night. Like, I wouldn't even, like, I don't even believe that I'm here. Like, for real, I'll be like, who is this? Because a lot of times you gotta let stuff go. That's another thing. You have to let stuff go. Knowing your value is knowing to let stuff go, especially like conflict wise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I was one of them kids. I was one of conflict wise. You gotta be like, you know what? Let me let that go. It's a better way to handle that.
Yeah.
It's a better way to handle this. Let me back up, think about it. And then a lot of times when you step back from situations and actually like externally observe them,
Mm-hmm.
you notice this person not even on my level intellectually. Like that. What is we? What are we even? What am I even tripping about? I got so much going on, and they just got dust.
Yeah.
Like
Nothing.
nothing. And you were sitting there ready to lose everything you got just because of a reaction. And you learn it. I had to learn that. Like,
People do a lot when they don't have nothing to lose, though. So, like,
yes.
they want to get under your skin. They want to take you out your character. Like, they want to do all of
Mm-hmm.
these things, but, like, it's ultimately up to you how you respond and how you react, and thinking about your brand as a youth leader. Like at Heart Smiles, we
Mm-hmm.
build leaders. We know this. We on different projects. We working with people in John Hopkins and Bloomberg, and in the city mayor's office, and all of these different things. So like, are you willing to just risk it all just because somebody wants you to come out your character? And they coming out their character because they don't have nothing to lose, but they trying to get under your skin when you have something to lose. So
To
think
lose.
about
Yep.
those things. But I know we winding down on your last 2 minutes. So normally
Okay.
what we do at the end of a session is we drop a jewel. You've been dropping jewels this whole time that you've been here, and the time been moving so fast. That's how you know it's good. But like, if you had to leave the heartbeats with one jewel, what would you say?
Okay. One jewel I would say is always remember who you are. If you remember who you are, can't nobody else steer you wrong. Can't nobody tell you anything. Just always have confidence in yourself. You know your journey. You know what's destined for you, and you know your capabilities. Don't let nobody take that away from you. No, I don't care who they are. I don't care who they are to you. Relationship, your mother. I don't care. Never let somebody take away from you your light. Don't allow that to happen. Period. Like, I can't wait to talk to y'all again. I'll be back. Like, this was good.
Y'all was going crazy in the comments. Make sure y'all show Shorty some love. Drop some hearts, some A coppins, all that. Wish her well on her senior year and her exam.
And any future nurses, holla at me. I'll help you. I will help you. I will. I'll give you my jewel study guides. I can help you.
She here
Just
with it.
hit me up.
But
Bye. Talk to y'all later.
good luck on your exam.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. So y'all already know she did her thing. But y'all, that wasn't the last Cop and Eagle, Cop and Night we got tonight. My favorite one, my sister.
Yo,
Young
what's good,
Rebel.
y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good? Hey, Captain.
Hey, yo.
How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Yo, y'all was
We
dropping
feeling
jewels.
good.
I caught like the bare end of it. Y'all was definitely dropping jewels.
Real bit. Sis, y'all ate coppins? Y'all eating up. Y'all eating up tonight.
Listen, you already know Coppin don't come to play. We come to slay all day.
Yo, look, she got her little hoodie on and all that.
You feel me? We're Dawn. Dawn?
Yo, Dawn was like a cop in the chat.
All right.
But we got a lot of elders in the chat now.
Hey,
Yo, we're going to
what's
continue
good,
our
y'all?
conversation because I know Elder got a specific situation that she should get off her chest, but she don't need to say names or nothing like that.
Yeah, no,
about remembering your value, especially in a workplace. So we gonna get into it. Let me see. Since you wasn't here at the beginning of the conversation, could you answer what does remembering your value mean to you? And I'm gonna see if I can go back up to you to read some of the comments I didn't hit.
Okay, cool. Honestly, I caught when you spoke on boundaries. Honestly, when we talk about value, that's kind of the first thing that I think of, because I feel like when you set your boundaries, it sets the expectation of what you allow and what you don't allow. And it kind of teach people how to treat you. It teach people what's okay with you and what's not okay with you. And I feel like that's the number one way that you show your value, is letting people know this is what I'm okay with and this is what I'm not okay with. This is how I'm okay with you treating me, and this is how I'm not okay with you treating me. And just I feel like remembering your value looks like advocating for yourself and just like being your own, being your own advocator, like letting people know like this is what works for me and this what doesn't work for me. Yeah, I think that's what I would say for real, because I think when it's been times where I had to think about my value, it came down to, okay, I need to let this person know that this is okay and this is not okay because I'm how I value myself.
Yeah, we need Coppin on here right now because for one, the last girl ate down, but already Elder, she eating down, but not too much. Not too much.
Not too much.
I definitely felt the advocacy part though, because I think a lot of times we get in a situation where like how much we remember our value is tested. Like we get in the situations and it'd be like, I know this person did not just talk to me like that.
Yeah.
Do they want me to jump out of my character, or like should I just remain like grounded and just who I am and show up as myself and advocate for myself? Because what people want to do, like we were just talking about before, is get under your skin because they know the things that you have, they know the value that you bring, but they want you to step outside of that. They want you to show them a different side of you and make people see you in a different light, but you know what the case is. So yeah, let me see what Naeem talk about in the chat. Naeem said, I don't like how they want to make you want to explain why you got those boundaries. Yeah, yo, and what y'all think about that? Like, do you feel like you need to explain boundaries to people, or like once you say it, that's it? Like that's a wrap.
I mean, I feel like it's some cases where you can explain your boundaries, but I feel like people who value you don't ask you to explain your boundaries. They don't question your boundaries. They don't test your boundaries. People who know your value, they're not going to be like, well, why you say that? They're going to understand, you know what? You're right. Situations like that. They're not going to make you explain. But sometimes in professional, in the workplace, sometimes you do have to explain your boundaries so people can understand, oh, you're not just trying to do what you want. This is your boundary.
Yeah, and that made me think about this quote. It said, people that mind don't matter and people that matter don't mind. So, like, when you think about your boundaries, the people that are open to accepting the things that you want to say, like, I'm not going for this or I'm not going for that, they're just going to be like, yeah, I'm cool with that. But if people like making it a whole uproar about certain boundaries that you have around certain things that you care for, then it's like, oh, I see how it is. Step to the side. You shouldn't be in my life no more. So that's where I am with it. But I think Naeem said one more thing. Naeem said it shouldn't take me to explain to you right knowing well you already know my intentions on things. And y'all, Naeem, I'm gonna catch you though, because in this specific statement that you said, you're making an assumption. Everybody don't know your intentions. As much as you want them to, anyway, as much as you want them to, like, everybody don't know your intentions. Like, say for instance, right? Me and Elder real cool, whatever. That's my sister. Sometimes you might think intentions is a certain way or that thought is a certain way, but it's just not. When you ask questions about what a person's intentions is or what things or thought process was going on behind the scenes, then now you know. But you can't just jump to conclusions and be like, I know their intentions, because that's how you get confused.
Definitely. What's up, Gemma? What's up, Sid?
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna keep asking the same questions I was asking before, and hopefully we get to build on them a little bit more. So the next question is, in what times have you lost sight of your value and why?
Like examples?
Like example.
Have I lost sight of my value? I need a second, man. I wish you would have pre-prepped me.
Sis, how about this? How about this? We can make it a little bit better. But I don't know what I'm gonna say on my mouth, but you can give me an example for me, and I'll give you an example for you.
Oh, what? Who on here? It's like, hey, yo. I be playing.
Yo, I'm trying to think. Let me give us a good one.
All right, girl. I'm not trying to take up your time. We running out of time. We got 20 minutes. Let me think. Yo said I'm theatrical. I'm being for real. I'm trying to think. I gotta choose wisely about what I say. A time that I feel like. What's the question again?
All right, I'm gonna read it again. Okay, you listening? And what times have you lost sight of your value and why? You want to go first?
Go ahead, Joe. You sound like you want to go. Like,
no, like I'm just saying because you're taking a long time to answer the question. Like,
okay, I'm gonna think while you talk.
All right, cool. So a time that I lost sight of my value. Dang, what I was going to say on my mouth is too recent.
Sis, it's fine. Go ahead.
No, because they know. I can't say because they know the body, so I can't say that. I can say a time I lost sight of my value.
See, y'all losing sight of your value is so like down bad that like we don't even want to talk about it. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm trying to pick and choose what I should say. She trying to pick and choose what she should say because we both know they was dead. We was dead wrong. Like,
no, dead wrong. Like real bad. But hey, bless. All right, so basically, I was in a relations with somebody, right? This not my recent example for real. This is not the recent example I was talking about. But I was in relations with somebody where basically I was just giving like all to a person. Cause like, I don't know, in relationships, when somebody show you that or say that they want you and then they pull back, you like become addicted to them. And like them wanting you again. So like in this specific state of mind where I was addicted, like I was trying my best to help this person mentally.
Oh, since I got my idea. Go ahead.
All right, wait, hold that. Okay. I was just basically giving my all to this person for real. And I'm like, I completely lost sight of what I wanted to do. Right, attached. I completely lost sight of what I wanted to do. And I mean, I kept saying I spent a lot of time, but like I wasn't ready to leave yet. But I'm out of that situation now. And I remember my value, okay? Because now I got people around me. I got in heart smiles, people letting me know, like, yo, you really on your stuff. Like, yeah. So that was a time that I did, but I'm not trying to get back there. Elder, go ahead, because she's so like ready to go. Is her screen black? Oh my god. All right, go ahead. You back. I can't hear you. I cannot hear you. Yo, get her, yo. Hello? She gonna join right back, yo. I don't know what she's doing over there, but she gonna join right back. Anyways, y'all got some examples in the chat. Can y'all drop some in the chat? Can we hear you now? All right, you back. All right.
I was on the phone. My grandmother called, you know.
Mimi.
Like, come on, Mimi. All right, see, I could talk about my situation because my I ain't got to worry about my person being on here. You feel me? They a broke bum. They would never even make it this far. You feel me? I remember it was a time where I was messing with somebody, and like you said, I was overextending. I was giving, but I wasn't receiving anything. Like, I wasn't getting anything in return. I wasn't getting any. Hold on.
So basically, yeah, she was messing with a broke bum, and psych.
So yeah, y'all, like, I was messing with a broke bum for real, and I didn't realize, like, this person, like, they didn't go to Heart Smiles, like, they didn't have any vision, and I would always be like, well, you want to check this out, or you want to come to this event, or you want to do this, you want to do that, and it was like, not really, or like just stuff, like, you know how, like, you do something and you proud of yourself, like, they would never give me any accolades or anything. Like, it was always just like me. Like, I would ask them if I could take them to work. You know, like, are you an Uber?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I would sit in the back for them.
Listen,
yo, since we both we lost sight, both of us lost sight of our value at this time, because I shouldn't be sitting in the back seat.
Right, since you should have never sat in the back seat for a broke bum, but you did.
Right, but I did, because I like my sister.
I lost value on myself, and I lost value on my sister too, because I asked her to sit in the back.
Crazy.
So yeah, that's a time where I just kept overextending myself to somebody who just didn't align with where I was going, didn't align with my purpose, didn't align with what I believed in. And like Cam said, like, I was attached, and I was just like, well, maybe if I do this, they'll like it, or if I do that, or if I do this, I do that. And they were never seeing how good it was. And I was starting to really doubt myself, like, maybe I'm not that dope. Like, maybe I'm not Young Elder. Like, maybe I'm not that lit. You know, because they not saying nothing, so maybe it's not really that big of a deal. But in reality, the stuff that I was doing was a big deal. And I just couldn't see it.
But yeah, y'all, this tie right into what Elder was saying. Of course, we already talked about alignment. But like, it's not our job to prove our value to other people, and we also can't control or can't change people. People have to be willing to change themselves. So Elder could jump off a cliff right now, and the girl still wouldn't value what she was doing. And like, that's not on her. That's on the other person. That's on the broke bum.
It is.
So at the end of the day, y'all have to take that into consideration and internalize that because you know your value. And when you feel you like you in a room where like you not valued, you in the wrong room. So you need to leave the room.
Yes, Cam. Like, for example, every time I go to Matthew A. Henson, if y'all know who Matthew A. Henson is, the Heart Smiles Elementary School. Make sure y'all check it out. Every time I go to Matthew A. Henson, I feel like I'm basically greeted with a parade. Like, oh my God, y'all out. Like, I feel like I'm welcome. People are excited to see me. And I don't really even have to do something. It's just my presence. Like, that's how it should be when you are in the right space. Not, oh, you was 1 minute late. Like, now I'm not excusing tardiness, but what I'm saying is people should magnify your strengths and not your weaknesses.
Emphasize on magnifying your strengths. But yo, why y'all want to mental again? Anyway, yo, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna be
back
back
home,
so soon.
Yeah. All right, sis. The next question is building off of the last question. How will you avoid losing sight of your value going forward? So, like, with some of these practices, because I know you can speak about it personally and in the workplace. So, like, going forward, how will you avoid losing sight of your value?
To avoid losing sight of my value, I think the best thing is just going back to this alignment. Only surrounding yourself around people and things that align with your purpose. Like, what's your purpose? Why do you feel like you're here? I feel like I'm here to inspire people. I'm here to show people that you can come from really bad and really make something out of that. So that's what I feel like my purpose is. So if I feel like I'm surrounding myself around people or things that don't align with that, I'm not valuing myself and I'm not valuing why I feel like I'm here. So I feel like to avoid losing sight of the value, making sure that you're intentional with your time, making sure that you're intentional with the people that you hang around, because they're not gonna give you they're not gonna give you the chance to question your value. What you think, sis?
Yeah,
You
I
answered
think
this
it
question?
also sis that really was right on the money. But adding to that, like the people that are around you also need to hold you accountable when you lose sight. So, like, I
Mm.
know in me and your relationship, when you lost sight of your value, I
She
would be
cut
like,
me off, y'all. Y'all, she cut me off. Now, I'm not saying that that's what y'all should
first of
do.
all, we've never
Because
talked
I
about
was
this
bitter
on
for
live.
2 months. I was bitter for 2 whole months.
First, it was 3. It was 3. Okay. Yo, we never talked about this on live. I don't even know why she's bringing this up. Like,
For real, y'all, I lost sight of my value. And my sister was like, the only way that you going to be able to get back on track is if I remove myself. And she removed herself. And I was like, oh, hold up. Something not right.
yo, it took me to come back to Matthew A. Henson for us to get back cool. But we back cool
For
now. We
real, you
back
can't
cool.
survive. Since you can't survive a war zone by yourself.
No, for real. It was a thing like a dream team, but like
Yo, go ahead. Keep on. Come on. We
but
got 12 minutes. We got 12 minutes.
all right.
And we never have
So
enough time.
we really don't. And I might get through the questions. All right, the next question is how do you show up when you don't acknowledge your value and how do you want to show up? So let's go back to like before in the spaces where you felt like you wasn't acknowledging your value, or even if you felt like you was in a room where you weren't being valued. How do you show up in spaces like those? And in that same situation, how do you want to show up?
How do you show up in rooms where you feel like you're not valued? Honestly, that's a choice. I feel like that's really a choice because that come back to like just your attitude. Like your attitude is a choice. Nobody can really make you feel any type of way. I feel like if you feel like you're in a situation where you feel like you're not valued, your best option is just to be you. Like be yourself. Like don't try to conform, don't try to change, just be your authentic self. And people are gonna have a choice whether they're gonna accept that or whether they're not. You don't have to overcompensate for anything. You don't have to tone yourself down. Just be your authentic self. Like, I remember one time I was in a meeting and I was the only person feeling like I was advocating for something. And I said, basically, I was like, basically, my manager had proposed something. And I said, I felt like that wasn't an equitable decision for the team. And everybody was looking around like, why would she say that? Y'all knew it wasn't equitable when she said it. But I knew my value. I knew my value and I knew that I deserved more than that. So you give them what you got and they either take it or they leave it. And that's how you find out who value who don't, you know.
Yeah, I think in the spaces where I feel like my value isn't acknowledged, it can be looked like one or two ways. So like when you're into something personal, like with a friend or romantically, it can be hard to just be like, let me throw this away or let me get out of this room because you built an attachment to that person. Or like when it comes to professional stuff, and this can look like twofold for the same person too. Like on the personal side, it's hard for me to let you go, but professionally, if you're not valuing me professionally, then you can leave. But it can be the same person. So like I feel like with professionalism, I'm kind of a little bit more not cut and dry, but like if you don't value me, I'm just gonna change the room I'm in professionally. But in personal, it's like you cling on to attachment.
I'm in a situation where half the people value me and half the people don't. So it's kind of like, what would you do in a situation like that?
So in a situation like that, I feel like it's just about weighing out the pros and cons. Mm-hmm. Like, how much are you willing to take? What things are non-negotiable? What things do you need in a space where you're going to thrive? Do you feel like you're reaching your full potential in this space? If some of them answers is no, well, the reaching your full potential is no, or even feeling like you can reach your full potential is no, then you got to change the room. So, especially if you like you've addressed something or the energy or your concerns or brought those things up, like if you don't feel like you can reach your highest potential, then it's just time for a change. Yeah, that's my answer to that question. Why y'all not answering the questions in the chat? Like,
right, like I don't never be on here.
Hey, no, for real, y'all. She came back from the dead.
Yo, cop and try, take me out.
No, for real. All right, so in the last question we talked about how you show up when people don't value you versus how you want to show up in those spaces. So how do you feel the gap between how you actually are showing up and how you want to show up? So like if you're in a space where people not valuing you and like it might not be the best environment, how do you feel in the gap to being in a good space?
Sis, I don't understand the question.
Okay, so you're in a room basically where you feel uncomfortable or you feel acknowledged or not reaching your full potential, and you want to show up in a better light or you want to be in a better space, like that type of thing. So how do you feel in the gap between where you are and where you want to be?
Honestly, I feel like that comes down to remembering your purpose. Like I said, like remembering why you came, remembering why you even decided to even be in this room or be in this space. And when you focus on that and you focus on the people who really do care and the people who really do want to see you be successful and you like hone in on that, that can help fill that gap. Like, oh, well, these people don't value me, but remember why I'm here. Why did I decide to come? Why did I decide to do this? That's what works for me. Like, that's what kind of gets me through.
Yeah, and time on purpose, I would go back to intentionality, of spaces you in, the way you present yourself, addressing concerns, the advocacy, because you can still be in a room and not necessarily change the room, but influence the room. So like advocacy, and
I think like just being positive too. Like it's been
yeah,
times where I feel like I'm in spaces where I'm not valued, but I keep positive energy. I keep high energy, and people be like, "Oh, Elder, why you always smiling? Like, what you don't go through nothing?" I'm like, "Girl,
if y'all want to know,
I go through the worst."
yo, I'm dead. So is there any last minute questions y'all got? We about to wrap up and get into Jules, but I got through all of my questions basically. We could bring that other question back that Jimmy asked about how do you define, like how do you determine a fine line between cockiness or arrogance over remembering your value? Like what's the cipher, like how do those differ?
What's the difference between cockiness and knowing your value?
Yeah, like what yeah, how are they different?
I feel like when you're cocky, you're trying to prove something. I feel like when you understand your value, you just know. And you don't, it doesn't really have to be said. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like when you're cocky, that's when people start, oh, you know this, oh, you know that. Like, oh, you know who I am? Like, you don't have to say nothing when you just know your value. When you know your value, it come back to what you allow and what you don't allow. Like, I feel like when you cocky, you would say something like, "Oh, don't touch me." Like, I feel like when you know your value, you like, I'm not okay with that. It's just about wording, really.
I think that's cool. I didn't look at it like that though. I didn't really look
I
at
mean,
it
what can
like
I say? I mean, I'm really like that, right?
uh,
Oh, was that cocky or was that value?
yo, you a cool boy, yo. Anyways, yeah, I didn't think about it like that. I'm gonna let her answer resonate with y'all. But Zai said, to be honest, I'm a bit of a people pleaser, so I would kind of overcompensate so I have a good impression on people. It's something I need to work on, to be honest. And what you said too about proving something to somebody, I feel like that can go either way. Like you could prove something to somebody and you can feel like, I got low self-esteem. But then you could go like in a cockiness realm, like, oh no, like I'm better than you, that type of thing. But it can go like either way. What determines which way you go, I don't know. But yeah. But in response to Zai, I would say like every day take something day by day. You like create daily goals, even to how you do things with people. If you catch yourself like saying like, oh, I'm doing too much, but not like, in a like annoying way. It's like I need to tone it back a little. Like although these people are showing up like this, or I feel like I need to present myself in a certain way, I'm okay with just doing things in a way that I'm comfortable in doing them. Like you don't have to go the extra mile or jump all through these hoops to be like, I'm a good person. It's
Because
going to
the
be
people
evident.
who know, they're going to
They know.
know.
But yeah, yo, so we at the last minute. I think Winning Wednesday was so successful today. We had the Cop and Eagles on here. And I mean, all right, not too much. We gonna close out with Jules, and since you wanna go first or me?
Sis, I'll let you go first. I like to say the best for last.
All right, not too much. I'm like, you trying to prove yourself. You trying to prove yourself. Calm down.
Sis, hold no, I'm really projecting because I don't know what I'm about to say. So
I would say be intentional about the rooms that you're in and how you take up space. So like I'll come across people that when they take up space, it's like it's almost unbearable, right? But when you take up space and you're doing it intentionally and out of love and with a purpose, like people feel your presence in the room, and that's the type of energy that they want to be around. So that's my jewel. You got something better than that, or
the energy. I think my jewel would just be you determine your value, not somebody else. You know, and a lot of times we can allow other people to determine our value. Like I was saying, I was in a situation where how somebody else was treating me was determining how I valued myself. So focusing, honing in on why you do what you do. What's the reason as to why you show up places, why you do the work that you do, and really understanding like I know how hard I work, affirming yourself and really listening to the good people and not listening to the people who don't, you know, give you any credit or anything. But a lot of times, y'all, it can be hard because like the person you love not showing you no celebration, it can be like, yeah, I ain't nothing but a stick. Like, I'm just a little stick, like a twig.
a twig is crazy. Yo, don't be in that space, y'all. Cause I've been in that space too. When you know you're a superstar, but like the person you with not making you feel like you're
But the person you with a broke bum.
Broke bum, not realizing you a superstar. Like, and sis, they don't even have to be broke bums like this. Broke bums like this. So if y'all around some mindless people don't
sometimes the broke bums like this be having money. Enough said.
We gonna get into that another time.
It's 7:01. We cutting up. We need to get up.
We cutting up. We're done. Okay. I'm never getting on the Wednesday with her again because she don't know how to act. But I love y'all. We gonna see if we can have Chardonnay come back. Probably on Coke session. And I appreciate y'all for engaging so much with this session. And hopefully one piece of this information struck y'all to make some changes in your lives, because I know there's some changes that I need to make, and I need to make them immediately. Okay, so I love y'all, and I see y'all again.
I love y'all more.
I see y'all again in 2 weeks, yo. I'm about to get her over here, yo.